Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Christina Hidayati from Semarang State University. On this occasion, I will present an essay that I have made entitled The Effectiveness of Discovery Learning Model to Reduce the Level of Misconception in Newton Law Material. The first of all is introduction. Learning physics cannot just memorize. It is according to ENG201-Christina 2017, learning physics is not only about remembering, because in learning physics we can also study natural phenomena, so that understanding it is not enough with just a theory, but it is necessary to construct, understand, and apply the concepts that have been learned. Then misconception arise because learning only focus on memorizing material. It is according to Shah 2003. So many misconceptions that arise usually occur because learning only focus on memorizing material. Then to check student level of misconception, we can use the three-tier test that according to Ina et al., three-tier test is test to check the level of student misunderstanding is an expansion of the three-stage diagnostic test. Based on several studies, misconceptions are often experienced by students in Newton Law material. The purpose of the study was to determine the effectiveness of the discovery learning model in reducing the level of misconception in Newton's second law material. Next is method. This review article is an integrative literature review. So this research is study that discuss the effectiveness of discovery learning models to reduce the level of student misconception in science learning, especially Newton's law material. To investigate this review, Google Scholar article search was conducted regarding the effectiveness of the discovery learning model to reduce misconception in science learning. The steps to determine the effectiveness of using discovery learning model in reducing misconception in science learning are followed. The first is analyze the part that often occurs misconception. The second is analyze whether the use of this learning model reduces the level of misconception in science learning. And the last is draw the conclusion. The next is result and discussion. The result of the study obtained by Putri et al. 2012 and Setiabudi and Rostiana 2020 were obtained if Newton's second law experienced many misconceptions. So, to reduce the level of misconception, discovery learning models are used. There are 5 stages, namely stimulation, problem statement, data collection, data processing, verification, and generalization. The first stimulation. In this stage, students observe the stimulation given by the teacher. The second is problem statement, where the students are asked to make hypotheses from the stimulation provided by the teacher. And the third is data collection, where the students are asked to collect the data to answer the hypotheses that have been made. And then data processing, where the student process the information they have obtained by reasoning, analyzing, doing calculation, tabulating, and so on. And in verification, students are asked to verify the hypothesis met with the information obtained during the learning process. And the last is generalization, where the student is asked to conclude whether the hypothesis that has been met, the teacher tells the hypothesis is accept or reject. The result of the study obtained by Ina et al. 2020 discovery learning models shows there are differences in the misconception of students who use discovery learning model with the student who use conventional learning model. So we can conclude that the finding of this study were to determine the effectiveness of the discovery learning model, which was able to reduce the level of student misconception, there was a typo, on the material of Newton's law, especially Newton's second law. There is the reference that I use on my essay. Thank you for your attention. I'm sorry if I have some mispronunciation. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.